Right. Welcome everybody to our webinar. This is one of 6 episodes which we're going to be publishing in the next couple of weeks, and it's all around the exciting news that we are just about to launch Zenarmor SASE 2.0. So it's me, Lyle. I'm the product manager at Zenarmor, which I'm sure some of you are already familiar with. And then this evening I have Murat with me as well. Murat, how are you doing?
Thanks, Lyle. I'm doing great, and quite excited to be, doing this with you as we are launching Zenarmor's plugin Secure SASE.
Great. Yeah, I think everybody in the company right now is super excited with where we're going and some of the things that we've been playing with. So yeah, it's a pleasure to share this with everybody tonight. So I'm going to quickly just open up the presentation so we're all on the same page. So as I said earlier, this is an introduction to Zenarmor SASE 2.0 and our plug and secure anywhere approach that we have as part of our unified SASE platform. On the agenda today, we're going to be firstly jumping in briefly just to some of the problems that Zenarmor solves. And then we're going to look at what Zenarmor SASE 2.0 is and how plug and secure anywhere, how this approach differentiates us within the market and within SASE. And then, we're going to bring in our internet security, which I'm sure everybody is quite familiar with. If you have already seen our SSE product, we have internet security available there. And then perhaps some of you haven't yet seen our new secure private access functionality, or our ZTNA functionality, and how these two can be combined to create a really powerful tool to secure your remote workforce or your distributed networks that are spread as we have evolved after COVID and those type of things. Companies these days are all hybrid, so you're in the right place if that sort of ticks your box there, and you need to secure those kind of environments. So just to dive in here, I've got this diagram that we can start working with, and this is what a traditional SASE type setup would look like, or if some of you are still using on-prem VPN type solutions with appliance-based VPN solutions. And this is typically what you'll see, where you have a remote worker and he's connected through a VPN service to perhaps an office or headquarters somewhere in the world, and then the security stack lives there, and all of his data goes through the security stack at the head office and then out to the internet or to the data center or to the public cloud or wherever the data is that he's trying to access. So this has got a single choke point where all that data goes through, and he needs to be able to access that VPN concentrator or gateway in order to do this. And if for whatever reason this is slow or breaks down, he's going to then have direct connectivity to the internet and to those other resources that he's trying to get to, which renders your security solution basically useless at this stage. And that's one of the major flaws with a traditional type VPN appliances. And then also, worst case scenario, if the remote worker's device became compromised and the bad actor is connecting back into your corporate network, generally lateral movement is very easy with standard sort of traditional VPN type solutions. And then some of you guys may have already moved across to what we like to call traditional SASE vendors, where there's a cloud element. So instead of having all of the security happening on-prem at your HQ, they've simply moved it up into the cloud through a vendor. And you connect to this via POP, a point of presence, and all your data now just travels through the cloud and then out to wherever it needs to be. Now, this technology is great. It has solved a lot of problems, but it has also introduced problems. For example, like your POP outages is a thing that can happen at any time. If one of the data centers go down where POP is, or there's a system failure on the vendor side, the user is going to connect to another POP, which is maybe more distant. That introduces performance issues, reliability issues, which now starts sounding very familiar to traditional VPN type problems where there's latency, they try to avoid it, they're going to try to connect to systems directly and not use the security stack to do so. Some of the other major problems, for example, with traditional SASE vendors is that you pay for this bandwidth and this luxury of using their cloud. And Murat, I know I've been speaking a lot, but maybe you can talk a little bit about the bandwidth overages and how these costs can run up by using these type of cloud services.
Yeah, thanks, Lyle. It's a good point. So basically, if you are trying to secure your distributed organization, mobile workforce, remote workforce, hybrid workforce, whatever you want to call it, distributed environment, and if you're using an existing SASE solution, basically your existing vendor might do two things, right? The first thing they can do is they give you a flexible bandwidth to their cloud infrastructure. But actually what you're doing is you're paying for your connectivity, say in your home, or for your office, and you're going to be paying for the bandwidth, that because you're using the vendor's cloud and they are paying egress fees to their cloud providers, infrastructure providers, and you have to pay them as well. So for some vendors, because they're working with big budgets, they can relay that cost to the end user. So you will have bloated SASE bills, right? And for some vendors, because they're working with price-sensitive customer groups, they cannot do that. But instead, what they will do is they will cap your bandwidth to 1.5 megabits. So, which means even if you're enjoying a 1 gigabits per second internet connection to your ISP and you're working from home, and if you want to be under SASE protection, you'll be throttled back to 1.5 megabits per second per user. So this is, in my opinion, this is not acceptable. And but this is the thing we're hearing from our initial customers on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I mean, most of us nowadays have got gigabit internet speeds. Even at home. Why should you be limited to a fraction of that just basically to have security? So definitely a big problem. And then, we can talk about these type of problems, for more than an hour if we really wanted to. But just to wrap this up for now, we're going to be covering more of these problems in depth in some of the future videos that we've planned, specific problems. A lot of these as the so-called single vendor SASE solutions are generally formed through acquisitions. So some of the bigger guys have gone out and they've bought smaller companies and then they've bolted them together to make this SASE-like solution. But the problem with that is, and you'll notice on the diagram as well, there's often times where you'll see multiple different dashboards to be able to deliver or configure different elements of the service. So maybe there's one to manage your web traffic, maybe there's another one to manage your private traffic, and so on. And this is not ideal because these systems become pretty clunky, and also there's problems with management and integration and getting them up and running as quickly as possible. It just slows the whole deployment down, which takes months to be able to achieve properly and to integrate with your systems. And that's purely just because they were never designed from the ground up to work with one another properly. So these are sort of common problems we see within traditional SASE. I'm not saying everybody is like that, but these are definitely problems that we have in the wild looking at traditional VPN solutions and traditional SASE solutions. So The next question is what is Zenarmor SASE? Like, how is our approach to this different? So, we'd like to call ourselves the industry first fully integrated SASE platform, and particularly the fact this comes at the fact that we are the only SASE solution at this stage which is based on a portable, lightweight software engine. So we are a completely software-based solution. We are hardware agnostic as well as basically platform agnostic at this stage. We can run anywhere, in your Linux platforms, Windows, Mac OS, BSD, and so forth. So all the popular ones are covered. And we deliver the entire SASE stack through this one lightweight engine. So included in that SASE stack is your SSE, which is your security service edge. That's all your web control, traffic, security, all that kind of stuff. And then also the private access element, which we put under the ZTNA umbrella. But this includes everything from providing connectivity between peers to resources to building what is identical to an SD-WAN type solution, where we can have Zenarmor running on a gateway and connect branch offices up using the same kind of technology. So we're really, really versatile as far as that's concerned. And as I briefly said earlier, we run on x86 and on ARM hardware and all major operating systems. So the way that something like this, would look is basically as a visualization of our stack. So, we have everything including full TLS inspection, cloud access security broker for people that are after more granular control over web applications, preventing certain functionality of that application from working. Perhaps it's something like Dropbox, where you want to allow people to download but you don't want them to upload. You have that kind of control. And then we bring in the ZTNA and the VPN side of it as well, the connectivity, the secure connectivity. We have a whole video coming up in the future that is dedicated to that. It will be the next video after this. And then secure web gateway. That's pretty explanatory, that one. That's securing all your internet traffic, as well as all the other good things like DNS security, data loss prevention, RBI, remote browser isolation. That's something on our roadmap, which is coming soon. And all of this revolves around policy-based context and user-based context. So, we have users we bring in from our IDPs, or from your IDPs rather, and you can build context and policies around these users and around these groups. And then also where a lot of other SASE solutions fall short is they're really good at looking at north-south traffic, so all the internet, destined traffic, and we forget about west-east, east-west visibility within our networks. And this is something that we can cover too, because we are so close to being on, to where the endpoint is. So that kind of brings us to the next topic that we can talk about, which is plug and secure anywhere, right? So plug and secure anywhere really gives you, as the user, the ultimate in deployment options here. And it lives up to the name. So you can plug and secure anywhere, on-prem. In the cloud, you can have us sitting in front of your cloud workloads. You can have us sitting on those workloads if you wanted to. You could have us at the edge, as well as even now directly on the endpoint itself. So, being software, we can live anywhere. That we can run on an operating system and a piece of hardware that can support us, and this puts us, at the forefront of SASE 2.0, as we like to call it, in-house, and we're hoping that's going to be something that will catch on in the future as well, where Zenarmor can now run on an endpoint. So if you have a MacBook or Windows machine or any of those things, Zenarmor can live there. It can do all of the SASE inspection, TLS, decrypt, encrypt, all those type of things directly on the endpoint, and it's controlled by one dashboard, which we call Zen Console. And from there, we've totally eliminated the need of having POPs or backhauling traffic to a data center, or any of those type of things which we discussed earlier in the webinar. So, there's no need for those things. There's none of those problems, the location issues, the political issues that come with hosting these global POPs. And everything happens locally. So all of your inspection is on your network. It's on your terms. It's on within your borders. Nobody else shares any of that information with you. You're not sharing any infrastructure with anybody else. So in a nutshell, that is the power of plug and secure anywhere. It gives you the ultimate in your deployment capabilities using our SASE solution.
For you, maybe Lyle here.
Yeah.
So when you mean anywhere, what does that really entail in practice? So suppose that I am a person working from home. So how do you enable me to have security anywhere?
Yeah, that's a good question. So to put that into maybe a working example, I'll follow on what you've said there. Let's say you are working from home, which is commonplace nowadays, especially with hybrid, work and so on, being a norm. And perhaps you have a company issued laptop, and your company now using our technology doesn't want you to connect via a VPN anymore to a resource. So you simply deploy Zenarmor on that laptop. And you sign in using your company credentials, your IDP. And when you are at home, it doesn't matter what internet connectivity you have, you've always got Zenarmor that lives on that machine. So let's say one day you get bored of sitting at home, you decide you want to go out to Starbucks or to your local coffee shop, connect up to their Wi-Fi or their network, or perhaps you have a mobile hotspot that you want to use. However you choose you want to connect, you connect to the network, and you still have Zenarmor that lives there on that laptop. And this is really powerful.
The inspection is happening on the laptop. So the
Exactly.
whole POP points infrastructure that the other SASE vendors are hosting on their cloud, actually it's living in the endpoint. So you don't need to connect to a POP to make sure you're secure, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's like a great point, because it's going to just take us through to the next slide, which is this is what Zenarmor looks like. If you compare it to the traditional SASE or the traditional VPN, Zenarmor, direct connection between the laptop, the remote worker, and the resource. So in this case, we've got no cloud that sits in the middle of this. This remote worker can connect directly to the internet, because all of his security is happening directly on his machine. He can connect directly to the on-prem data center through a link that we provide through our ZTNA functionality, which is amazing, because our ZTNA functionality, maybe we can just give you some early kind of info about this. There will be a video, as I said, that covers this in detail. When you create a link between this user and the resource, it's as simple as grouping your users, telling it where the destination is that it needs to connect to, give it some sort of a context, like the time it's allowed to happen, the applications that are allowed over that particular link. And from there, Zen Console builds all the tunnels in the background, forms the point-to-point link for you to the resource, and you have these totally micro-segmented connections between end point or end user and the resource. So unlike a traditional VPN solution, if a machine got compromised, the user, or let me rather say not the user, the bad actor will only have access to the resources which we've allowed across the network. So let's say it's HTTPS, a web resource, something that they're accessing in a data center. That's all he will be able to do. And immediately, if he tries to do anything else, he will be blocked. And also, through Zenarmor, we offer leading visibility and in the industry, where we can see everything from the application to the website to anything that a user is really trying to do, and including east-west traffic. we'll be able to
And
see
you
if
can
there's
also
something.
apply content inspection on the east-based traffic, right? Like IPS kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got control and you got that visibility that's happening there. So great solution for shadow IT as well. If you're concerned about unsanctioned applications on your network, it's very easy to spot them with Zenarmor. So this is the Zenarmor picture. Single dashboard, direct point-to-point connectivity between endpoints and resources, direct and secure internet access, control and visibility directly on the endpoint or at a gateway. If you have an edge network, you could put us in front of some IoT devices, printers, whatever you'd like to be secure. Very simple to spin up, and you have the choice of literally any operating system that you would like to get us running on, any x86 hardware or ARM hardware, and you're good to go. So you have ultimate deployment functionality from Zenarmor moving forward, and that's
One question from
plug
my
and secure.
end as well. Sorry to interrupt, Lyle. Maybe
Mhm.
just to make it clarify things. So, so is Zenarmor an endpoint security solution, or
No. So we like, yes, we can run at the endpoint, but we're not an endpoint security solution. Something like CrowdStrike or those type of things, definitely not. We inspect the network traffic that's happening through our engine, and there's no,
you can
I don't want to.
basically deploy anywhere, including endpoints. So this is what we
Exactly.
mean, right?
Yeah, exactly, 100%. So yeah, including the endpoints. So you've got literally the ultimate versatility as to deployment. And the best thing of all, really, in my opinion, is that this is all controlled by you and your company. You're not relying on another vendor's cloud to deliver a service or something like that. This is something you can build within your company, and also perhaps just a little bit of insider information. We know that sovereign SASE or self-hosted SASE is like a bit of a hot topic at the moment in some of the circles that discuss it. Zenarmor is going that direction as well. So eventually we will be able to offer a complete self-hosted solution for you, where you can run your own Zen console instance, you can run your own networks, all those type of things exclusively within your business. So that's quite exciting coming up in the future. Right. So yeah, next slide. I think this is just kind of a recap on what we just spoke about. So internet security plus secure private access. This is what makes us powerful, where we have a SSE element, which is our web, safe internet access, and everything like your SWG, CASB, TLS inspection, all those things fall under that roof. And then we have a ZTNA side, which is the secure private networks and encrypted overlay network. And all of this runs through one dashboard. It's got a unified policy to be able to enforce everything. We provide you with live insights and access control and all that kind of stuff. So you have it right there in one dashboard, easily to deploy. And best of all, we integrate with your existing IDPs and so on. So you can bring all those users and groups and so forth into your setup as you need, and build your context and your policies around that. We also have other integrations for enterprise as well, like SIM or SIEM solutions, so we can connect to things like Splunk or Datadog or any of those type of platforms as well. So you can use us as part of your threat intelligence, building your own threat intelligence by using the data that we collect, within your network transactions and so forth. So all in all, it's there. It's really powerful to get going. And then so SSE and ZTNA, just better together. Everything is there. I'm not going to elaborate on this any further. I think we've spoken about this quite a lot in the last couple of minutes. But yeah, this is secure private access and secure public access. That's all you need to know about Zenarmor. We will be going into more detail about these in the not too distant future as well.
And when you look at
So, Yeah.
Enterprise companies' requirements in terms of network security, right? So what that means in just two pillars, right? The first pillar is to be able to secure the internet access of their assets, users, and the second piece is making sure that these assets are communicating privately, and their access is really controlled and visible and secure.
100%.
And we have it's SSE and ZTNA, Zenarmor provides that to you with a single solution.
100%. Couldn't have said that better. It's great. So just a summary and what's next to come. Zenarmor, we are redefining SASE through our plug-in secure innovation, and we are capable of bringing the SASE stack closer than ever to the users. In fact, living on their endpoints, like we've discussed extensively. And everything that you expect from a great SASE solution is here: security, visibility, control, and in our case, we're giving it to you on your terms. So it's no longer a vendor's cloud or somebody else's POP you've got to connect to, or anything like that. It's on your terms, your network. We are launching soon, and we encourage everybody to try the Zenarmor, the new Zenarmor 2.0. The experience is really quick to get up and running. Sign up, and we'll be up and running on your network very, very quickly. We've got a great new onboarding process for that as well. So exciting things to come. And as I said, up and coming episodes. There's another 5 to come, videos that we're going to be putting out in the next couple of weeks. Deep dives into use cases, some of the features individually. We're going to do some product demos. Look out for those, and follow us on all of our usual social media platforms: LinkedIn, YouTube, and so on. And keep an eye out for those things. Murat, have you got any final words before we wrap up?
Thanks, Lyle. I think it was a really thorough and well put out presentation into what's coming up with the Zenarmor's plugin secure architecture, and how we're actually really redefining SASE, and how network security is being done and delivered in the modern enterprise era. And I look forward to having the other episodes together with you. Thanks.
Great, sounds awesome. Okay, well, we just under half an hour, so I think we've made good time. And once again, thanks to everybody for watching this and spending some time with us. And we hope that you guys find this informative. And we look forward to seeing you soon. And that's all good from my side. Thanks for joining me, Murat. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Lyle. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.